have any opening statements for us?
Nah, man. Excited. I remember this heat growing up. I'll be sure to take my salt tablets, but yeah, excited to be here.
You feel like you have a lot more responsibility now that Tyrann Mathieu's gone, being a veteran yourself. How much do you take that on yourself?
Yes and no. My leadership style is I try and raise other leaders around me. You know what I mean? I want to turn every man into a leader because that just raises the level of ownership in the team. That guys take accountability for the product that we put out on the field as a team. It's not just guys dragging other guys along. It's the entire group pushing in the same direction, right? So Tyrann was a big part of that. Tyrann was a tremendous leader, but I was going to operate the same way as far as my leadership style of encouraging men to also continue to be leaders. And we still got a lot of talent, man. It hurts losing them, but we got a lot of talent. This is a phenomenal opportunity for the next guy up to step up and start to make his impact on the league.
How much about talent being one thing and your leadership, but how does your role, just from the play style, increase the talents about you?
Yeah. Well, I guess the one benefit of being the new guy on the team with the new defensive coordinator is everything's already so new and fresh that, it kind of feels normal. I think it'll be different if I was here last year and we're playing the same system and, things change. But, the only thing I know right now is what it is right now. So I don't think it changes a lot for me personally. But, we're excited about going out there and putting a good product on the field.
Were you kind of looking forward to playing?
And then being a Louisiana kid, how much did you watch him? Obviously playing with your brother as well.
Yeah, man, I've known Tyrann and his whole family for like 15 years. I've known Tyrann basically my whole life. Watching him back in the LSU days, following his career, our first year playing together in Houston back in 2018. I was really excited about the chance to play with him again. Sad it won't happen, but happy for him for the legacy that he is leaving and the impact that he made on the game. He gets to go out on his own terms, and he gets to go out on top.
Starting to feel like you don't like you too, like every time you get somewhere, you take off, go somewhere else.
I mean, it's not anything. That's just the nature of the game and the way that things are done. I was excited to come here and play with him. You know what I mean? I never thought of myself as a replacement for Tyrann Mathieu because there is no replacing Tyrann Mathieu. I just come in and be the best Justin Reid I can be.
You seem to have jumped into that leadership role as well since you've been here. Can you kind of talk about the impact that you have with that?
Yeah, so this is kind of like the progression of, so you come in as a young player, right? It's about taking care of yourself, making sure you're ready to play, making sure guys can rely on you. Then you start worrying about taking care of your room, right? Start being the leader of your room. Then it started being about the defense, and now you start hitting the point in your career to where it's about the whole team, right? So we have some young quarterbacks, we have some young wide receiver talent, and right now it's about reaching across the ball. It's about lifting every man up and encouraging them to be the best version of themselves because from my experience in the league, this is what I know for a fact. We will need every man in that locker room, regardless, first string, second string, third string, practice squad, doesn't matter. At some point, we're going to rely on somebody to come in who isn't your normal, typical starter and make a big-time play for us to win a game. So for me, I'm heavily invested into pouring into every man that I can to get everybody ready, right? Because at some point, that experience is going to help, and it's going to help us win football games. And that's what we're here to do, is to win as many football games as we possibly can. So I take that very seriously. I'm very intentional about it. And it's an honor to have that responsibility.
Justin, what were your impressions of Rashid Shaheed from afar, and then what stood out to you defending him in a couple months worth of practices now?
Yeah. He's a quiet guy, but he speaks loud with his play. You know what I mean? He isn't a guy to be rah-rah or anything like that, but he's a guy who's extremely consistent, has phenomenal character, and works hard. So, and then he has some things you can't teach, like his speed. So that's always nice to have that too as a weapon for the offense. But been a great wide receiver for us.
You talked about the team a little bit, but what are your impressions of this new scheme at Ochsner State?
Well, it's pretty fun. For starters, we're doing a lot of stuff. It's not boring. We're not a one-trick pony. Every coverage of defense that you can think of, we're playing it. And Coach Staley, with his background, get to do a lot of fun things, a lot of moving pieces, a lot of setting traps. From being in the same division as the Chargers, I watched a lot of the Charger tape already, so I'm familiar with the way that he used Derwin James in that system and all the fun things he got to do with him, and I'm gonna be able to do a little bit of that. So just a really fun opportunity, man.
What do you mean by fun things? Like what we've heard about some of the stuff the other guys get to do in this scheme, but what does that mean for the safety labor?
Yeah, I don't want to, I'm not going to pour everything out. Yeah, I don't want to give away too much or let it be a surprise for those guys who are playing, especially week one. But pressures, disguises, playing different looks, having a little bit of autonomy in what happens in the play. If I'm blitzing, I get to choose if I want to blitz myself, if I want to send a corner, if I want to send a linebacker. Based on what I see, I can manipulate the situation, and playing that chess match on the field and putting ourselves in the best situation for success is pretty fun for me.
Is it kind of being like the quarterback of a defense?
Yeah. It's exactly like that.
Justin, what are your thoughts on the quarterbacks so far?
Yeah, young guys with a ton of talent, and our job right now is to make it as hard as we possibly can on them, because if we make it hard on them now, it'll be easier down the road, right? So we're not taking it light on those guys. And today was the best day that they had. Those first 2 days, we beat up on them a little bit, but today they had a handful of completions downfield. They look like they're settling in more. But it's our job to continue to apply as much pressure on them as we can now, so that way they can continue to elevate and sharpen up and be ready to go week 1. But like I said again, today was the best day that they've had. They played really well today.
When you think of Staley's defense, it's like those two high shell. Like what's kind of the safeties role generally? Just kind of in that,
Yeah.
keeping it deep and keeping everything contained. Like, what do you like about that?
Well, I like that he allows us to be aggressive. Some safety systems want their safety to just be passive. We just want you to backpedal all the way out of the play. Just don't let up a deep ball, but you're giving up 15-yard completions underneath you. We're not going to just allow things to be that easy. He allows us to be aggressive, play with what we see. Like I said earlier, manipulate the coverage, make certain calls and checks that if we see something we want to dive on it, we can, cut and replace, have another guy climb high to protect us. So he just gives us a ton of tools to work with, which makes it fun to go out there and play.
What's necessary for the safety that's next to you? You talked a little bit about your role and your communication, things like that.
Yeah, chemistry. I mean, like being able to communicate without communicating. Like, I can see him showing the look, and I'm just going to go and marry that look with my alignment too. You know what I mean? Just to present a picture to the opposing quarterback. Like, once you start getting on that train towards you can start communicating and you guys are on the same page and you can just kind of give each other a look and you're both thinking the same thing, that's when you're going to really start making some plays.
Have you found that chemistry with Jordan so far? Like, how's he
Yeah, I mean, all these guys are very cerebral. All these guys are smart. Me and Jordan have a great chemistry and relationship on the field, as well as anyone else that's been stepping out there with me. I think that he's explosive. I think he has a ton of talent. I think he has a very noticeable change of direction when he hits the trigger and he wants to go. It shows up. I think that that's really nice, and I'm excited to see him just continue to develop. We gonna knock people's blocks off. It was mad at people. I love physical DB play, man. Corners included. You want to get me hyped, show me a cornerback smashing somebody. But I love when the DBs get physical because a lot of offensive schemes is directed at trying to run the ball on DBs to get away from the linebackers. And I want my calling card to be, you better run away from me because I'm gonna cut you in half. You know what I mean? That's the same type of attitude that these other guys have too.
Listen, I'm sure you're ready for Patson next week, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Before you get to Patson, you got these first few days that you're trying to, I guess, is it just making sure assignment-wise you know what you're doing before you ramp up that physicality?
Yeah. I mean, knowing what to do. The NFL, they say the league is 90% mental for a reason. NFL, if you don't know what to do, you're just going to play slower. If you know what to do, you're going to play faster, you're going to play more confident. You're not going to second guess whether you can take this shot or not take this shot or be passive. So the important thing right now isn't, even though, everyone in this sport that we play, everyone loves the contact. But the most important thing, one, is not to hurt each other, to do it in the appropriate way. But two, to also make sure that you're learning the playbook. Learning the playbook above all else. If there's a mistake here, if there's a big play one way or another here or there, that's not really a big deal as long as we're continuing to elevate to the point that, we reach here when we need to. And, not to get too far ahead of ourselves too, but my experience in the league, especially with some of those Super Bowl runs, it's not about being the best you can be week one. You know what I mean? Of course, you want to be good week one, but you want to continue to rise up, and you want to start playing your best ball going into November and December, so that way you can make a playoff run. So, right, it's about continuing to get better, continuing to sharpen the entire season. Not thinking that you could just reach there week one. There's still going to be mistakes here and there. You just continue to rise, and good things will happen.
You're technically wanted to get out of Louisiana and experience it. What
what excites you about being back now? Do you find that it has helped the transition, being a little bit more familiar?
Oh yeah, I moved my place really fast. I know the area. Yeah, I live about a mile from my brother. That part of it's been sick. It was the right situation when I left high school, just because my brother was playing for the 49ers and Palo Alto was right down the street from it. But coming back now, 8 years into the league, and I got a greater appreciation for family presence, than I did when I was 20, 21 years old, and I just wanted to go out and see the world. So it's been great being around family.
You're a part of the unit that most recently game planned against Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that stood out to you during that process, and what's standing out to you now?
Yeah, you see some carryover, and you see some things that are different. He molds it a little bit to the personality and the talent that he has available to him on the team. But me and Coach Kellen, from his time with the Chargers, we played against each other like 7 times. So there's some concepts where it's like, I tell the guys, hey, I know this is coming right now. Just be ready to jump it. But they've been building it, and it's been successful. He does what he does because it allows his players to play fast and allows them to make quick decisions and allows them to be productive. And I think that those guys, especially the way they play today, are starting to understand it and starting to click because they're able to make some bigger completions today than they did days before. So moving in the right direction.
It's early, but have you seen curveballs from him? Not in detail, but you said there's things that you've expected. Have you seen curveballs?
Oh yeah, there's a play that hasn't happened yet that I'm still waiting on. There's a play that I've seen him do with both Philly and the Chargers, and I'm waiting on them to install it. Yeah.
How many of those post-snap games are you all throwing at these young quarterbacks right now? Is that what you're talking about, pushing them,
Yeah.
to make them better?
Yeah.
How much of that are you throwing at these guys? I know you're doing your own thing.
No, as much as we possibly can.
Back, right?
No, absolutely not. Yeah, as much as we possibly can. Because this is our time to experiment too, and try and see how far we can stretch our disguises. So, yeah, we're not taking it easy on them at all. We're throwing everything we can at them.
What stress does Kellen Moore, tempo, what kind of stress does that put on a defense when he's changing kind of the rhythm play to play too? How does that affect?
Yeah, he does a lot of different things, man. He has your typical dual run game. He has a lot of run pass option. He allows the quarterback's legs to be a dynamic part of the offense. Situational football. We've already had 3 meetings on just the situations of the game and winning those situations, because a lot of time games come down to end of half in the game. You know what I mean? You have a minute left on the clock. Are you going to fumble the ball? Or are you going to do something with it that's going to get some points that's going to win the game? So being really situationally specific and having a repertoire there to use, and just doing some different looks. There's a lot of he throws double moves in the system, a lot of stress on the coverage players with spreading them out and trying to create isolation one-on-one routes on linebackers in the middle of the field. There's a lot of stuff. You know what? We didn't. There's no need to. It was understood already, like the love and the relationship that we have. That it was like, there's no trying to convince them to come back or anything like that. It was just, hey man, happy for you, appreciate what you did for me my rookie year when I came into the league, and happy for you and excited for you this next chapter.
Thanks, guys.
Cool.
Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.